Alright, this is your review for There is a Man in the Habit of Hitting Me on the Head with an Umbrella by Sorrentino. This is a funny little picture from one of the short videos that has been made of this short story. There's a great animated film that has been linked to this document that's also worth watching. It doesn't follow the story entirely, but it's worth watching. So just a quick review of this story. The man is sitting on a bench one day and pop, gets whacked in the head. He later on says in the story, it's not painful, a fly landing on your face isn't painful, but it's obnoxious. So it's just this kind of tap, 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 that's constant all day, every day, without ceasing. And it's incredibly interesting because the speaker tells us that he's aware that the person hitting him is human. There's a point in time when our speaker actually attacks the man hitting him, and the man hitting him clearly feels some sort of physical reaction to that. And so we know that the mystery hitter, Umbrella Man, is human, should theoretically hunger and thirst and have to go to the bathroom and sleep at night, but there's no evidence to support that he does any of those things because he's always hitting the speaker. So there is a question of, this man is human, but how human is he? The speaker says, I could take a gun and kill him, but I'd sooner kill myself. Because by the time we're hearing this tale, it's been 5 years, and the speaker has grown accustomed to it. And he says, I think I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I wasn't being hit. I wouldn't be able to exist anymore in the same way if this Umbrella Man wasn't hitting me every day. And so there is this kind of interesting question about allegory. Sorrentino has come out and said, I had no intention of writing an allegory, it's just a story. But that doesn't stop us from seeing allegorical meaning in here. Some people say the Umbrella Man is your conscience, weighing on you, and without him you would kind of cease to exist, or that the Umbrella Man is something bad that the speaker has done that's been weighing on him, and he carries that guilt with him now, and he can't imagine not having that guilt. Some people like to compare the Umbrella Man to a boss or a job that's always hassling you and haranguing you, but eventually you kind of get used to it. So there are a lot of interpretations of this story. The question is, as a reader, do we see allegory in it? It's easy to draw parallels and see hidden meanings. Whether or not we choose to believe that the author genuinely was surprised by interpretation is kind of up to us. But there is an interesting observation to be said when talking about allegory and meaning, because everybody sees something different in this story. And so it's an interesting commentary on how we interpret literature. Because there are so many varying opinions on it, that our reaction to the story changes over time. So let's say you do have a guilty conscience, you might read the story from a guilty perspective. Let's say you do work a really tough job, you might see this story as your boss making you crazy. So that's kind of the beauty of literature that's drawn here by Sorrentino and a lot of his fans, is that we have an ability to interpret it differently based on our own experiences, which is why Sorrentino can say he didn't mean it to mean anything, but based on each individual's human experience, we can read into it what we will. So that's a brief overview of There is a Man in the Habit of Hitting Me on the Head with an Umbrella by Sorrentino.